Question 13 is solving rational inequalities. These differ a lot from the rational equations. It's not just the inequality sign, the method also varies a lot. Now, since this is in the multiple choice part where you can choose the correct answer, there are some tricks which I'll show you in the next problem. But this one, let me solve it. Over here, what you need to do is exactly consider this inequality as an equation itself, 4 by x equal to 5 by 4x. Now here, it's better to get all this denominators to the numerator, right? There are various ways. One of the easy way would be, see, this is having 4x. So if I multiply throughout by 4x, what happens is this denominator cancels, x also cancels. What I mean is 3 minus 4 by x will be multiplied by 4x. That will be equal to 5 by 4x as well, and multiplied by 4x. Both the sides are multiplying 4x, it's balanced. Okay, this cancels out, so it's balanced. Now here we will have 3 times this multiplied by this, and here. So 3 times 4x minus 4 by x times 4x. That will be equal to, over here I just cancel it, it's a single term, it will be 5. Now here x and x cancels, here it will be 12x minus 4 times 4 is 16, that is equal to 5. 12x will be equal to, this goes to the other side, it's going to be positive 16 plus 5. X will be equal to 16 plus 5 is 21 by 12, that is equal to 3 goes in both of this, it will be 4, and this will be 5, 6, 7. 7 by 4, that is 2.75. Sorry, it's 1.75, I believe. Yeah, 1.75 is the answer. So that will be the final answer. Over here, the steps are already there. You can follow these as well. So we found the answer 1.75, but that is not the solution. Since we are dealing with inequalities, right, what we need to do is we have to make and see inequality, this thing, number line. I'll tell you tell you how exactly you can do it. Just draw a number line. The answer what we got, 1.75, is very important. And then you must look into any undefined values here. Undefined values are like the values which will make this, error. When x is 0, right, because there is a term in the denominator, so we must consider 0. Now, if it was x plus 3, then it would have been minus 3 and so on. So here there is only one undefined value. Even over here, it's 0 itself. So this is an asymptote here, which is undefined. And this one, okay? These two splits the intervals. So what intervals we have got is from minus infinity to 0, from 0 to 1.75, and from 1.75 to infinity. All these can be solution sets. So now we need to input a test value in this. What I mean is, choose a value which is from minus infinity to 0. Choose a smaller number, it's much easier. Minus 1 is within this range, isn't it? From 0 to minus infinity, minus 1. Now, what about a number from 0 to 1.75? I'll take 1. Whole numbers are easier. You can, integers like no decimals, are easier. You can even take 0.5, no problem. And take a value from 1.75 to infinity, I'll take it as 2. Simple numbers. Now, what happens? I need to test at x equals minus 1, and I should see both the sides. What happens? Is it greater or no? Is this true or false? Then I test at x is equal to 1. And lastly, we also tested at x is equal to 2, and we have to see whether it will be true or false. We need a calculator for this. Let's use our calculators now. Here, there's an easier way. Rather than putting minus 1 here, writing the values, just type this inequality. The equation what is given, 3 by 4 by x. So now just calculate at different values. Let's calculate it at minus 1. It's 7. So let me write the answer 7 here. Now let's go to the next one. Calculate it at 1. And we got minus 1 as the answer. When you put 1 over here, it's 3 minus 4, it'll be minus 1. And then let's calculate it at 2 as well. Calculate 2. So we got 1 again. That's positive 1 this time. So we got all the answers at the left. Let me change the color over here for the next values at the right side. So just write 5 divided by 4x. Now calculate at different values. Let's start with minus 1. What is the answer? It's negative 5 by 4. I'll just write all the values and then let's see whether it's true or false. Calculated at 1, it's positive 5 by 4, and lastly calculated at 2, it will be 5 by 8. So it's positive 5 by 4, and then we have got 5 by 8. Now compare. Is 7 greater than negative 5 by 4? Yes, absolutely. Positive number is greater than negative numbers. But here is negative 1 greater than 5 by 4? Wrong. So which is the first one? Where was this taken? Minus 1 is from the range minus infinity to infinity. This is correct. Whereas the one test value was taken here is wrong. And lastly, is 1 greater than 5 by 8? Yes, that is true, because 1 is 1 over here, 5 is smaller than 8, so it will be 0 point something. Okay, it will be 0 0.67 something. So this is also true. We have two answers, this and this is true, but this one in the middle is absolutely wrong. So now what we write is the solution set would be from minus infinity to 0, and or you can write 1.75 to infinity. They might write it in terms of x. Let me just see how they have written the solution here. See here. They have written, instead of writing minus infinity and everything, it's understood it's less than x's less than 0. That means it's from minus infinity to 0, isn't it? That's the same thing, but they have written in simple word. And then x is greater than 1.75 because from here to infinity, right? So these are the inequalities that is written. Now, how do we get this answer? This is the final answer. By testing, we get they are true or false. So if the solution, you will have four options, right? When you have four options, there'll be like 0 to 2 as well. Like there might be answer over here, 0 to 2. If it was this range, they'll write like this. X is greater than 0 but less than 2. If you test this, this is error. Okay, that so you can eliminate the wrong options. So in this particular thing, this is the correct option which we got from the test which we did a while ago, the number line, and then we get it. See this one over here. So this is the thing, and we got first and the last one only. Now the shortcut method coming over here is like this. You will have four options, A, B, C, D, right? Now imagine this is the inequality given. Which would be the correct answer? You can test it by using your calculator. All you need to do is type this out. First, let me choose the left side. It will be 5 by 3x minus 3 by 4x. A is written as x over here. Now let me calculate at all the values. What are the values here? Now, don't just take these ranges. Don't take these ranges. You should choose a test value. So 1.5 to infinity. That means if you have like this, at 1.1, sorry, to infinity, there is one range. Then to 0 is also one more range. And from minus infinity is one more range, right? So what is the value between these two? I can take a value of 2 here. Instead of A, I'll take 2. What is the value here? See, it's less than 1.1, so I'll take 0 here. But now, there's one more thing. They have two options here. See, A is less than 0. So I'll take minus 1, and A is greater than 1.1. So I have to take 2. Here I have to test both of this. If one is correct, that's not enough. Both must be correct. And lastly, we have from 0 to 1.1. That means I'll take it as 1. So let me test for all these four values for this given equation. So now let me just calculate this at 2. And what is the answer I'm getting? I'll write it in terms of decimal because that'll be a better understanding, isn't it? So this one over here, I got 0.46. Then we round it off to nearest 100th. Now then next one will be calculated at 0. I'm getting error. Why? Because there's an asymptote. See, it's undefined, so you can just leave that. This is not the solution, so you can easily eliminate this, okay? Because they have the undefined value within it. So this is wrong for sure. Let's go next one, calculated at minus 1. Now this one over here gives me negative 0.91, but there are two values. So I'll write over here negative 0.92. And again, let me just check for the another one, 2. It's the same one over here which we have, okay, up above value. And lastly, when we calculate it at 1, okay, it's 92. See, it's positive. Now over here, we're getting 0.92 positive. Over here, there was and, I'll write it below, 0.46. We have to do the testing. So you have the different solution ranges. We are testing it now. Now, all these values, see, I'm eliminating the option B because it's undefined. All now, whatever we get over here, it must be greater. See, let me put the right side part. It is now I don't need to put it. Why? Because it's 5 by 6. It's a constant value which is much easier to solve because it should be just greater than 0.833. So now is this greater than 0.833? No. Is this greater than 0.83? No. 0, is this greater? No. Is this greater? See, this is how, this is wrong, wrong, wrong. Even one of this was wrong, then it was an error. So one might work, one might be wrong. So then you should tell it's wrong. This is wrong. Only one correct answer, that's option D. Can you see? Because when we did the test values, only one correct answer will give you the true solution. Basically, 0.92 is greater than 0.93. So this is how we can easily eliminate the other options. I know this is a bit lengthy, but this is the best way which I could suggest to directly get the answer. So that's the thing. Now here you can do the same thing by solving. You'll get 1.1, and then by the number line you can test and you can see there is false, false. Only one is true, that is this range. Similarly, you can try this. I'll just directly jump to the answer and I'll show you the testing values. Over here, you have to test at various points. So there is -3, there is 0, there is, say, you can take it as 3 over here, and then you can take it as 15. Any convenient values. Now, when you test all of this, you can test it by yourself. Put x as -3 here, then x as 0 at the left side. You get different values. It is true at this range. It is false at this range. It is true at this range and false. So there are two answers. X is less than -2, or X is greater than 2 and less than 14. So that's that. So in the options now, you will have this as the option. You will have, see now, what if you have four options like this? X less than -2. One is X greater than 14. 2 is less than X, but this is the answer. And then lastly, the option D is X less than -2 or 2X. This is the correct answer, right? Now, when you put a test value, this is also true. This is also true. Sorry, this is wrong. Second one will be wrong. But this is true. But then in the option 4, you have both of this included. So which do you choose is the option D. Why? Because over here this is true, but partly because there is one more set of solution. See, this and this is true, but they have not given it together. Over here you can see both are correct. So this is the correct option. That will be option D, where both are included. If only one part is included and imagine all the others were wrong, then yes, this is absolutely right. But you see there is option with both the inequalities true, then you should go with it. So that's how we would do it. Now even over here you can see this. Okay, there is only one set of solutions. So in your options, if you just use this one, this inequality, so you can take a test value, anything between -4 and 3. Now imagine within this range it's 0, right? If you put 0 here, what happens? 1 by -3. It's easy to solve. You can just put in the calculator. You'll get one value here that will be greater than over here. 0 above, it'll be 0 itself. So this will be more than that. So that's how easily you can test it. But all the other values will be wrong. So this only will be the correct answer. So please do the testing and then you can get the answer. So even over here, now there are two answers, doesn't matter, but these are not your answers. You need to do the number line and get the solution range. See over here as well. Now your options, I'll write some options over here. It might have been A, X is less than -5. B, X is greater than 4. C, it could have been 4 less than X less than 17 by 3. And lastly, D would be X less than -5 or 4 is less than X but less than 17 divided by 3. Now I'll just solve this one up, okay? Let me just remove the options. See, what you need to do is first take out your calculators and put the left side in it. Now we will just type the values out. Now this one, left side, let's write it out. See, there is one thing which you can do. You can rearrange this. See, for example, I can take this x to the other side, and so one side will be a constant and everything. You can rearrange this and also solve it, but I will just take it as it is in the question because this is the easiest method. I just see what is at the left side, x by 5 plus 2/3. Okay. Now I need to calculate, but I need the ranges to calculate. What is the range of x now? Let me just change the color here. So I'll choose anything less than x is less than -5. I can take it as -6. It will be greater than 4. I'll take it as 5. X is within this range of 4 and 3. It'll be nearly 6. So I'll take 5 over here. This also is 5. And what about the last one? The last one over here is -6 and 5. So now let's choose the test value calculated at -6. What is the answer we are getting? -0.55. Now such questions generally won't come in your exam. This one is a very tough option I'm giving, but just for you to understand. Now this is the first one, A. Then we will calculate it at say 5, and that is 1.67 over here. So 1.67. All of this must be less, isn't it? Less. And third one is also 1.67 because it's the same one. See, now fourth one, right? There are two, 1 and 2. So second one will be again 1.67. These all must be less than what? Whatever is in the right side. But now before that, I'll just calculate it at -6. And the last answer is 0.53. That's the first option itself. Now let me write the right side as well. It's 3 divided by x minus 4. Now here what we have got, -0.53 less than. Now let's start testing the value at the right side. It will be calculated -6. Okay, it's -0.3. So here -0.3. That means even this is minus c. The first one is also -0.3. Now what about the 5's? Let me take calculate at 5. It's 3. So everywhere else it's 3, 3 and 3. Now let's analyze. Is -0.3 greater than minus? Yes, this is true. Is 3 greater than 1? Yes, true. All are true. But here you have two of these conditions. Over here there's 1, 1, 1. But here both are there. So this would be the correct one. But remember, in your exam, this option won't be there, okay? You will have something else. The option will be different. You will have something like this, less than, which you will get an error, okay? At least one will be an error. You will get something, say, -3, like this, okay? So you will have at least, you can see, compare, okay, this is correct. Look at these options. They are literally both the same. In this option, they have included both this. So this is the most appropriate because both of this holds good. Whereas over here, only one. Whereas if this was wrong, any one of this was wrong, then you go to the other ones. But here, you can clearly see both of these are true. So this must be your correct answer, not anything else. And even if you look at your answer, you can see this is the correct answer. So that's how we do it. You have seen in the second question as well, we had 4 options and we solved, only one was correct. Everything else will become false. You will have such problems in exam. So please try these by yourselves. You can do the number line or you can just do the test by, putting it in the given question. Sometimes there can be 3 trues. Okay, so 3 true, that means you can see 2 is less than x. X can be greater than -2 but less than 1, and x is less than -5. So there are 3 solution sets here. And now we have a real world problem. For prom, Mona wants to fold 1000 origami cranes like this over here. She is asking volunteers to help and does not want to make anyone fold more than 15 cranes. Write an inequality to represent the situation if n is the number of people enlisted to fold the cranes. So what has been told? Total number of cranes. There are 1000 total cranes to be crafted. This is the, like in the paper, you can just fold it and do this. Now then, one person can never do more than 15. So 15 is the maximum limit. So whatever is being done must be less than or equal to 15. Now imagine you're 100 people. So 1000 to be folded by 100 people should be less than or equal to 15. Is it true? Yes, it will be true 10. But now we don't know how many people, right? So if you are 100 people, we just divide it. But now we know it's n number of people. We just write this inequality. Totally 1000 cranes must be done by some number of people. So if I divide them, then one person, how much they'll do can be found out. But we have a condition, it must be less than or equal to 15. That's it. Now that is the inequality over here. You can see that's the inequality. Now they have asked to solve this inequality. How would you solve this? This is a simple inequality. Just take 1000 divided by 15. That should be less than or equal to n. So just solve this up. It'll be you can put it in the calculator and solve it. So it's 1000 divided by 15. 200, it's 66.67. You can take it as 67 people. If 67 people over here start folding it, then if she gets 67 people, okay, then everyone can fold less than 15, and that wouldn't be too much burden on any one person. Now, there's another problem where Caleb manages the budget for his school's junior prom. His class has spent $1,250 for the prom venue, $625 for the DJ, $1,470 for decorations. They will also serve dinner before the dance, which costs $12 per student. If he wants to keep the cost of the prom tickets less than 20, so it should be less than or equal to 20, how much students do they need to buy? So let's take this as n number of students buying it. So what do we know already? We know 1000 1250 is spent, plus 625 is already spent, 1470 is also spent, and there is one thing. This $12 depends on number of people, right? So if you have 10 number of people, it'll be 12 times 10, it'll be 120. So this depends on the number of people. So this would be the inequality. But now we need to solve this inequality as well. So let's just solve it up. What you do is take this n to the other side. It'll be 1. You can add this all up over here. You can just use a calculator and put in the calculator. You get the answer as well. But now I'll just solve it up step by step. 1250 plus 625 plus 1470. That'll be all the numbers solved up together. It'll be 3,345 plus 12n must be less than or equal to 20n. So take this 12 to the other side because this is smaller. It'll be 3345 less than or equal to 20n minus 12n, which is 8n. Now here we have 3345. So just divide whatever this number divided by 8. It should be 419 people. So they must have at least 419 students who must join the prom. Only then per student the budget can be 20. Because if there are only few joining, so they have spent so much money, so it'll be very, very expensive for less number of people. If 419 students join, then it'll be less than $20. If more than this, if imagine 800 students join, it'll be much lesser as well. It won't be just half, but because there are some capital costs, but it'll be as the number of students increase, this will become lower and lower. Another real world problem, it's about height. Fabiana is 8 inches shorter than his sister Pilar, or 12.5% shorter than Pilar. How tall is Fabiana? So now here, Fabiana is 8 inches shorter than her sister Pilar. So if you know, imagine Pilar, her sister, is x. The height is x. So x minus 8, this would be Fabiana's height. But also they have told 12.5% shorter than Pilar. So imagine 100, for simplicity's sake, if 100 centimeter was Pilar, then 12.5% shorter, right, Fabiana? So Fabiana would be 87.5. Why? Because 12.5, 100 minus 12.5 would be 87.5 centimeters. So what we can write over here is, if she is x, whatever the height of Pilar, just multiply it by 87.5%. That's it. Because if we multiply Pilar's height by 87.5%, that will be the height of Fabiana. And over here also, x minus 8 is height of Fabiana. Both are heights of Fabiana. So over here also. So this is how we use Pilar's height and equate it and make sure they are equal. So Pilar is a name, by the way. And now what we do is we just solve it up. Over here, you can just put in the calculator and solve it. So let us just type it out. X minus 8, that will be equal to 87.5 percentage. Sorry, percentage is given as shift and this symbol times x. You can even avoid the multiplication, it's fine. Now just press shift and solve. The answer would be 64. So this is Fabiana's sister's height, that is 64. But she is what? 8 inches shorter. So 64 minus 8 will be 56. That is Fabiana's height. So whatever answer you get, 64 subtracted by 8, then you get it. Or you can just take 64 multiplied by 87.5%. That will be 56. Now again we have solving inequalities. We have just done it a while ago. Please do check the answers. You can try putting this in the calculator with equal to, you will get 8, but that is not the solution. You need to do this number line inequality thing and then find the solution sets. So when you have the 4 options, just do the trial and error method and directly get the answer. Now we have rational equations which you have solved before. You can easily use your calculator and solve this once. You can put in the calculator, you'll get the answer. Oh, let me solve this one, because see here, the right side, you can directly get the answer in the calculator. But what about this one? First, let me do the second one. That is 2 minus fraction 3 by x. The variable b is written as x equals 5 divided by x. Shift and solve. The answer is, it'll take some time, you got 4. But what about this one here? 3 divided by x minus 4 divided by 3 times 3x equals 0, isn't it? Now if I press shift and solve here and then equal to, okay, I'm getting some wrong answer, but you can avoid that, which I've told you before. Just take natural logarithm on both these sides. Over here as well, natural logarithm, so the computations become easier and you will get a proper answer. Press shift and solve and then equal to. But here, see, if you wait, it says can't solve. Why is this? Because you have an error. We have done similar problem in the last topic, question number 12 as well. So you can go back over there. Now you can't solve because it's not possible. There is no solution in this case. So another thing is, you can just input all the 4 options and check whether the right side is equal. So now if the answer is, say, x is 5, then what you need to do is 3 divided by, here it is x minus 4 divided by 3x, isn't it? So you need to calculate at all the given x values. If you calculate at 5, what is the answer? 1 by 3? No, it's not 5. It's not 0. That's wrong. So you need to change the other. Go to the other option. It might be 2. Is this 0? No, it's error. So calculate at 0. It might be an answer. You're getting math error. No. Then no solution. So you have to choose no solution, because none of the solution is equal to 0, because you cannot solve this one. So that is how we do it. Now this one as well, you can directly try putting in the calculator. Let me show you here. And we have, we are 3, sorry. It's 3 by x. If you press equal to 12 by x, shift and solve, the answer is 3, but this won't give you the correct answer because you need a solution set. Answer is plus or minus 3. So that's also an issue, because you might have 2 answers where it's quadratic. But still, don't use calculator for inequality. Why? Because you have to do this. That's not the answer. You need to know the solution set. So whatever solution set you get in the options, put it over here and do the testing as we have done 2 times before. So please refer those problems and then you will get the correct answer. Here as well, please do the same method. And over here, you can see the solution sets. This is the same thing. These are the correct answers. Okay. Here as well, it's all the same problems now. Similarly, you can do these by yourself and then check for the answers. And the last problem as well over here, if you put in the calculator, yes, you'll get -2, but then you need to do this number line and then test for all the ranges. Over here, the testing point would be -5. Over here, you can choose it as, say, -3, and over here, you can choose 0. Put everything over here and check whether this is true or false. Whatever range is true, that will be your solution set. And that is the end of question 13. I know it is a little bit of tough topic, but by using the shortcut method, you will save a lot of time and get the correct answer.